Okay, on this section here, we're going to talk about the Studio Center billing, which if you own a recording studio and you're billing out time, this is a very helpful tool. If you're not, you could skip this tutorial and move on to the next one. This will just talk about how to do invoicing of your sessions and how to track data. Now, you're still going to want to use some of this data here, even if you're not doing billing, like the ISRC numbers I explained in the general tutorial. So let's go through this first. But in general, I mean, if you're not going to do schedule and billing, then you could skip this section. So we'll go through here. Let's pick a client for this recording. Let's see, let's use Twyla Fabulous. We'll click on that, and that'll assign her. Notice it put her email and phone number down there. And now we're going to do today's date is the first day of the session. Release deadline, let's put in the 30th, for example. This you can put time code in if you need it, bit rate. Let's say we're going to record at 48 bits. That's sample rate. It should be 24B, 48K. Let's say we're recording that way. AIF files is the structure that we use for our audio files. We're going to use Logic Pro, let's say 10. Digital delivery will be stereo. The time length of this song, let's say it's 4 minutes and 2 seconds. We're going to send it out on MP3 or AIFF. If you have your numbers, put them in. You can check sales tax if you charge sales tax. That would be helpful. If this checkbox is not checked, it will not correctly add sales tax. But and then this is general notes. You could type as long as you want in here. So, all right, let's go into the session date. Let's choose today's date. We're going to have a session, 10 a.m., 10 to 12 p.m. All right, and this is going to be overdubs. It's already given you a project number based on this project number. It's bringing that into your invoice. So it's 2 hours of overdubs at $100 an hour, let's say. And that's giving you, if you want to add tax, normally for a service you wouldn't add tax, but if you're selling tape or materials, you would add tax. You would click this button here and notice it adds the tax then. So we're not going to add tax for this, but we are going to add extras. Let's say there's catering of $25. Hit the enter key, it updates. Now let's say we want to invoice this. We're done for the day. So you click down here on this invoice number field, and it's going to generate a new number for you. When you click enter, it's based on the time and the date and the entry ID, etc. So it makes a unique code for you. You can read about it if you're interested. It'll give you a drop down if you roll your mouse over it. But anyway, when we'll print this invoice. There's the invoice. Catering, $25 was added. No tax. Continue. Hit print. And now you can send it. You can PDF it, attach it to an email, collect credit card, however you want to do that. Once it's paid, you click this, and it will put that last invoice number and assign it to all the items that were on that are on this invoice. In other words, you could go a couple days and then charge somebody if you wish, and in that way, it will keep track and put the invoice number into all of the ones that are paid. So once you click that, you'll see that invoice number is assigned to that once you receive payment. Now let's create a new one. Let's say the next day. We're going to do 11 a.m. Just put 11. That puts it into 12. Say it's an hour of mixing. We're going to do mixing. 1 hour at 100. an hour. Brings in the amount. Let's say you want to charge tax for some reason. Okay. And there's rental of a compressor or something, $20. So it adds that in there and moves it. After I hit enter, it moved it to the top, so it slid up. So the newest entry will be your top row, because that way if you had 100 items in here, it would scroll down. You can keep current that way. So let's say you're ready to invoice this one now. You go down and click again on this invoice number. It automatically enters a new unique invoice number. You can print it out if you wish. And it puts the number there and the amount. Notice it did not include the other invoice that was already paid. If you had not paid it, it would include both items. So you click continue, print or PDF, and we'll cancel here. Let's say they send you a payment, and boom. Let's click that. So because everything's paid, it's not a correct invoice. So invoices are done before payment is received. So you want to print out your invoices before you receive the payment. And then you receive the payment, you can log that, and it will keep track of that. And that's pretty much it. There is extra information. In other words, here's your general information. You can click more, and that's where you add the sales tax and other information. You could start making your entry here. We were on the second layout there, but the first layout lets you put your studio in, our mixing, for example. Vocals. Yeah, let's put all this in. Say Belinda was the singer. And then the mixing. See, John's the engineer. Forgot to show you that. But the first section is some general information like this, which is helpful. And then we'll put down mixing. And then when you want to get into more details like tax and stuff, that's when you click more. And that takes you to the tax area. It shows you a lot of the same information, but down in here is where you invoice it. So that's it. Let's go back. Allows you to, when the version's completed, you can click that checkbox. If you sell it and it gets a cut, you can click on Received a Cut. This gives you a running edition of how much was spent on the project, which is very helpful. And if for any reason you ever need to go back to the related catalog work, you can click that. It'll take you over to this page. And here is the version, number 8 version. To get back, there's two ways. You could hit the hide button, which would hide this window, or click go. That'll take you right back to the Studio Center. And this is your main screen. So I hope that's helpful. Again, the more button here takes you to the other view. There's some information down here where you store this music, put it on your external hard drive, what language it's in, etc. All right. Hope that's helpful. That's the Studio Center.